Hello and welcome to All Things Foster, a place for coffee, connection, and community. Today we have Jarah with us from the Amarillo CASA, and I'm super excited to talk to her. But before we get to that, our episode sponsor today is the ER on Soncy. Your number one choice in emergency room is the ER on Soncy. It's a local, freestanding emergency room located off I-40 on the northwest corner of Soncy and Legend. We're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and our trained emergency room doctors are experienced in diagnosing and treating patients to provide urgent care they need. With short wait times, advanced imaging and radiology equipment, and an on-site lab, at the ER on Soncy, you can expect exceptional emergency room care. So, guys, thank you for your sponsorship today. It really helps us to get the word out to folks. So, Jarah, how are you?
I'm good. I'm so happy to be here today. Anytime that I can talk about CASA and kids in foster care, I'm about it.
Absolutely. So CASA provides such a critical voice in court. And so I want to talk about that, talk about how many CASA volunteers you have, how many you need, and all that kind of stuff. So talk to us, just kind of set the stage. What does a CASA do?
Okay, awesome. So CASA stands for Court Appointed Special Advocates, right? So we're court appointed in the 7 counties that we serve to serve children in foster care. That's the simple part of it. But our volunteers are everyday people from the community that care about kids. They don't have to necessarily have social work background. They just love kids, and we bring them in and we train them. And then they are there to ensure that those children don't get lost in the foster care system because they're often in care 12 to 18 months, maybe even longer. And so their volunteers stay with them the entire time and then are going back to court on a quarterly basis, roughly, and letting the judge know, hey, this is how that kid's doing. This is what they need. This is what they don't need. They're also building connections for those children, making sure that once they leave foster care, which is what we hope for, that they have a support system and are better in the long run.
Yeah. I mean, I love it because they're the one person in court that doesn't have skin in the game as far as, you know, these different things. Their job is to speak for the child.
That's right.
And they have no ulterior motives.
That's right.
They want to know. They want to see what's best for the kiddo. And you talked about how the CASA stays with that child. I remember Kelsey. She tells that story about this young man that was 15 and been in care for 10 years, and the one person. And he'd been all over the state, but the one person that had been with him the entire time was his CASA.
That's right.
I mean, I love that. I mean, in our case, our CASA worker was instrumental in speaking up for what was best for the kids. So what does a CASA do? What kind of give the life cycle? How does it work?
So we say a lot of times our marketing strategy, right, is to tell people that it takes about 8 to 10 hours a month. So it's not a full-time job, though sometimes it can feel like it. But they're mainly there to chat with that child at least once a month. Sometimes that's in person, sometimes that's in Zoom, because if people don't know, a lot of our kids that are from the Amarillo area are not placed here because there's not enough foster homes. There's no facilities for higher level needs kids. And so they're going to Houston, they're going to Dallas, they're going to San Antonio, they're going to Michigan, they're going to Arkansas, they're going to Utah to see our kids who are there. Visiting with them, it's relationship building. It's not, I think people hear court and they're like, ugh, that sounds scary, right? It's not. It's relationship building with a child, and then it's reporting back to the judge. We don't make decisions.
Right.
We don't remove kids. We don't transport kids. We don't find placement for kids. That is all somebody else's responsibility. But we do go in and tell the judge, like, hey, this child, they're suffering at school. They're 5 grades behind because they've moved 15 times. Here's what we think they need. Or parents are doing amazing. They're healthy. They have a home. We think little Johnny should go back home. The judge makes that decision.
Right.
Not us. And so we're really eyes and ears for the court, but just building relationships with those kids so they know that they're not just sent off to Houston and nobody cares about them, but also that somebody is speaking up for them and saying, hey, this is what Sally's telling me she's going through and what she needs and what she wants. You decide, judge, what happens, but here's what we think and here's what she needs to make sure that we do get her caught up in school. She does get extra therapy. She gets to see her siblings that she's separated from, whatever the case may be. So it sounds like a lot, but it's so rewarding and just so needed.
So talk about the need. How many CASA do you have versus how many do you need? Where are you guys at number?
Sure. So a little history. There are 74 CASA programs in the state of Texas. So if you're listening and you're like, I'm not from Amarillo, that doesn't apply to me. Yes, it does. There are kids in foster care across the state, across the nation. CASA is a nationwide program, so there's CASAs in every state. But our program specifically covers 7 counties here in the Panhandle. And in those 7 counties, there's over 500 children in foster care, and we cover about 200 of them a year. So we say that a volunteer can cover about 3 kids apiece. We have a lot of sibling groups. Most are 3 or more kids. But some volunteers have 1 kid, 2. We had a case with 11 children a couple of years ago. That takes a different type of volunteer, right? But so we 8 to 10 hours a month on their schedule. But we have about 60 volunteers right now. We need about 100 more. Like I said, we do cover 200 kids roughly a year, but there's still like 350, 400 that we need to cover. Wow. So about 100 more volunteers. But we've really started to try to focus on like what that means, right? There's over 200,000 people in Amarillo. Think of the percentage of those that we need for 100 of people.
Right,
I mean, or there's hundreds of churches in Amarillo, 1 person from every church, right? We just need people to step up and realize that there are kids in foster care here, in Borger, in Tulia, everywhere that we covered, there are kids in foster care, and they need somebody to speak for them and to also break the cycle. We don't want kids in foster care.
Right.
That's not what we want. We want families healed and we want kids safe. Our staff of 11 can't do that alone. Our 50 volunteers can't do that alone. We need more people to step in. Yeah.
So what brought you to CASA? How did you end up here?
This is crazy, and it's nothing joyful at all or interesting. So I'm from a small town here in the Panhandle. I had no idea that child abuse existed. It's not something that was on my radar really that I thought about. And I actually have a degree in criminal justice and forensic science. And I needed a job. I had a baby at 19. I needed a job when I graduated college, and a friend of mine was like, hey, my mom's the director at CASA. And I was like, what is CASA? I don't know what that is. But I walked in, had my interview, and got the job on that day.
Oh, wow.
And I've been there 13 years. So, yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
So you talked about the kiddos getting the CASA volunteers getting to build that relationship. I know you said they meet with the kids once a month, but they can also like go to school. They can go to doctor's appointments. They can go to virtually whatever the kiddo is doing to really find out, build that relationship, and really figure out what's best. I mean,
yeah. So we have our volunteers talking to teachers, medical professionals, therapists, checking in monthly. We're talking to biofamily. We want parents to recover. We want parents to heal. And so we're visiting with them as well. How's it going? What are you working your services? Are you working your service plan? Are you staying clean? We're talking to them. We're also, one of our biggest initiatives is finding family to build those other connections. So once we're gone, they have other people to lean on. And so we're talking to grandparents, aunts, uncles, whoever's loves that child. We want to talk to them and hear what can be done to make this a shorter stay in foster care, as successful as it can be for the whole family. We're talking to everybody. And then again, we take that information back to the judge and say, hey, we talked to this grandma. She can't take Sally, but she can have phone calls. How does everybody feel about that? Those are the kinds of things that we're trying to dig up and share and learn. Yeah.
I mean, so do you have a story of of where a CASA volunteer just really made a big impact?
Sure. So I actually have two because I was thinking about this after you told me. So one in particular, and it's not always happy stories, but it still matters, right? So like I talked about, we have kids that are in Houston, Dallas, San Antonio. And unfortunately, not everybody that's involved in the case. So parents, attorneys, they don't travel to Houston. They can't. It's nearly impossible, right? Where our volunteer who has one case and the funding from us, they can go.
Oh, really?
Right?
Wow.
Yes. So we're going to Houston. We're seeing these kids. Anyways, we had a child. She's been in care over a decade, which isn't normal, shouldn't happen, but it does. And so we're going down to see her. She's moved, my gosh, probably 30 times in her 10 years in foster care. And she's very high level needs. She's special needs. And we get down there, we're talking to her, and we notice that she has like bloody spots all on her shirt. And we're like, what is going on? Well, come to find out, she is just eaten alive with bed bugs at this facility that she's at. And so we get in the car and we call the judge's office and we're like, we need a hearing now. We are not leaving this child here.
Right.
Oh, not. And so we ended up making moves. She got moved. She's fine. But had nobody gone down there to see her,
Right.
what would that turn into?
Yeah.
How long would she suffer? Right. So that's one situation. Another situation we have, like I was telling you, we're always looking for family. That's what we want to do. And we had a teen girl who was doing well. She was probably 16 at the time, 15 maybe, doing well, but just nowhere to go. Like mom, dad, they're out of the picture and no siblings. And so we were doing some family finding. Well, who do you remember from long ago that maybe we could call? And she found a grandma. And so we're like, let's call this grandma. And she's like, I want her. I want her, but they turned me down however many years ago because of my criminal history. Well, come to find out, now she works for the government. So background checks are fine. Right. She has a full-time job, a house. She lives in the same town as this child. But because she had, it was like some sort of nothing harmful charge from 25 years prior.
Oh my gosh.
They would not let this child go stay. So we go to court and we're like, hey, we found this grandma. This kid's 16. She needs to go with grandma. Yeah. And sure enough, the judge ordered it. The case was over. She stayed with grandma and was so successful. But had we not done any digging or, found this grandma, this child would probably age out of foster care.
Yeah.
And who knows what would have happened after that. So it's just those little extra things that CASA volunteers have time to do and are doing that makes a difference.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, I like I say, I know in our case, our CASA made a huge difference. It's just a critical role. And man, you said 300 that don't.
There's over 300
don't have a CASA.
Yeah. And think about like what happens when they don't. Yeah. I mean, I can't imagine what that experience is like. Yeah. So it's very important. Very important. We need help.
No doubt. No doubt. I mean, yeah, it is. Golly.
Yeah.
300 kids.
Yes.
So what qualities do you think makes a great CASA volunteer?
So somebody that's passionate about kids. That's it. Yeah. That's it. We have retirees. A lot of our volunteers are full-time employees. They work full-time. They're moms, they're dads. We have a WT professor, nurses, teachers, all walks of life. All walks of life and from all 7 counties that we serve. So we need people from Borger. We want people from Borger to serve Borger kids, right? They know about their community more than an Amarillo volunteer might, right? So we want people from each of those counties as well because we have kids in every single one of those counties. But really just a passion about kids, pass our background checks. They're pretty strenuous. They should be.
Yeah.
And then we're going to train you. We provide a 32-hour onboarding and then 12 hours yearly. So you don't have to know anything about child welfare, court procedures. We're going to teach you all of that. Yeah. And then once they're trained, we pair them with a supervisor in our office so they never go to court alone because I know that's scary to a lot of people. They never, when they have questions, they have somebody to go to. So there's we're going to support you. We just want you to care about kids and want to make a difference.
Yeah. So is the training like online? Is it in person? Is it?
It's both. So about 10 hours is in person and the other 22 is online.
Okay.
So,
Right.
yeah.
And you said 8 to 10 hours a month is about average.
Yes, and that's on your own schedule. So once you're trained, you're going to be contacting foster parents and say, hey, what works best for you?
Yeah.
I work Monday through Thursday. Can I come Friday evening? Right. So you're going to work with them to do what's best for both of your schedules.
Yeah.
So the only thing that would be a little more difficult is court hearings. We have no power over when those are scheduled, right?
Yeah, and then they schedule it for 9 o'clock, and then they get to you when they get to you. I mean, you can be there until 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yes, but also since COVID, most of our hearings are on Zoom now,
really?
and so that's made it easier for kids to be present. Volunteers, attorneys can zoom in from anywhere, and so they do go a little bit quicker. I'll tell you that. But I mean, I feel like we have a really good setup, make it really easy for volunteers to come through and get that training and then just get going. We also, at the end of training, we ask every potential volunteer, what works best for you? We serve kids 0 to 21. Some people want to work with teens, some want to work with littles, and so we try to match them based off of how much time they do have to give a month, if they can travel or if they can't, because that's not a requirement.
Yeah.
We will travel to see kids, staff will, if volunteers can't. So I feel like there's no excuse not to be a CASA.
I agree. I mean,
Yes.
So you've been doing this 13 years.
That's right.
And you've seen some really tough stuff. Really tough stuff. What gives you hope?
So I'll give you a recent example. I had a kiddo walk in the front door of our office who hasn't been in care for over 7 years. And she came in and I recognized her and I said, "Oh my gosh." And she said, I walked by and I remembered this office. And she said, I wanted to come in and see if I knew anybody that was still here. And she goes, and there you were. And I hugged her and she's like, I just wanted you to know that after I got adopted, I ended up going to nursing. I'm in nursing school. And she was like, and I'm back with my siblings. We're all living in the same house, taking care of each other, but we all have jobs. We're all, getting married and taking care of our little brother who knows when we get paid. He knows when our payday is. So but I just thought that's what she's good. And that's what makes it doable is when it's like that one good outcome. It's like, okay, I can keep doing this. I can keep doing this. A couple of years ago, one of my kiddos had gotten adopted and I ended up going to her high school graduation. Then about 2 years later, ended up going to her wedding. And so that's also, I'm not her CASA anymore, but she still hollers at me and I still know what she's doing.
Yeah.
So things like that make it doable. That and something I've really been trying to be clear about recently is these are our future community members. And I think about my kids, like, who do I want my kids around? Well, successful people, right? Yeah. Good people that care about others. And so I think about that. If we don't change the cycle, these broken kiddos are going to be enmeshed with all of us, our kids, our grandkids, right? So it's our responsibility to make sure that the Amarillo community continues being the amazing community that it is. Yeah. And we do that by ensuring that these kiddos grow up with everything they need and have good examples, and that their parents, if possible, can get it together and break that cycle as well. Know what it is to be a good parent. That's on us. Nobody else is going to step up, right? We've got to. Yeah. 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 It's heavy. It's heavy. It's heavy.
It's so heavy. I mean,
it's heavy.
Everything about the system is heavy. And like I said, I know personally, and I know so many families who will tell you that, that their CASA made the difference in the situation. And so it's, to me, that's why I wanted you to come on, because I know that it's heavy, and CASA really does provide, I think, some hope. I really do. So what's something you wish every person understood about foster care, about kiddos in care?
That they're normal kids. My gosh, they're normal kids. And in the hardest time of their life, they just want some normalcy.
Yeah.
They want people to listen to them, one, and they just want to be normal. They want a normal Christmas. They want prom. They want shoes that every other kid has. Mm-hmm. They want all of those things. They're normal kids. I feel like sometimes people are like, ugh, CPS. You know, ugh, they're in foster care. We don't want anything to do with that because it's not our problem. No, they're normal kids just like all of our kids. Yep. And they deserve to be treated that way. Their parents, too, are normal people who have probably had a rough go or weren't taught themselves. Yeah. It's a cycle. It is a
absolutely cycle. A cycle.
So these are all just normal. We're human. We have to treat humans like humans, right? People need help, and that's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, they're I don't know what the numbers are as far as how, you know, kids in care ending up with their kids in care. I know it's high, and it is. We did a 5-part series on trauma. We had Dr. Humberg on. We've had Robin Goebel on. We've had all these people on to talk about trauma, and it is a cycle. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, one person can break that cycle. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's possible. It's hard.
It's hard. It's hard.
But yeah, it is. And so, what do you think it speaks to a kiddo when they know somebody's there speaking up for them?
I think it makes them feel heard, and probably a little bit safer, I would hope. But again, also hope. Like, there is an end to this, because I can't imagine being placed in Houston when I've lived here all my life, away from my siblings, away from my parents. I mean, even like me growing up, I hated being away from my parents. I didn't want to stay the night with anybody. I got so homesick at church camp. Like, I can't imagine a situation like this, you know, and they just want people to know that, hey, we're still here. Even though I'm in Houston, I still want to go home at some point. And I think sometimes they just want answers. Like, they just want to know what's coming next. They don't necessarily want anything crazy, but can you tell me just what's going to happen or what's coming next or what this process looks like? Just somebody to walk them through, like, this is what a court hearing, this is what a judge does. You know, we're going to move you here. We're going to, you know, just answers. They just want to know what's going on with their life. They want some sort of control. Yeah. Because in foster care, as a kid, you have no control whatsoever. No. None. No control over your parents, no control over where you live. That I can't imagine. Yeah. I'm a control freak, so that would just not go well for me.
Right. Yeah. So other than being a CASA, what are other things that you guys need?
Sure. I think a simple way to help us, right, is to look at our social media and share. Yeah. Just share the word that there is a need, because I know that it's not for everybody. Yeah. I get that. Or maybe it will be later, or maybe you know of somebody, right? But just share the word. And also, we're willing to go talk to anybody that'll listen. Right. So any church group, any sewing group, any business that will just listen. We know that it takes people 7 times to hear about CASA before they'll commit to being a CASA, right? So we just need to be talking to people. People need to hear us. I think a lot of times, and I use this example a lot, my staff probably is sick of hearing it, but the block that I live on is 2 blocks long. And I always say, I feel like if I went door to door and said, hey, do you know that there are kids in foster care in Amarillo? Do you know about CASA? Do you know about St. Francis? People wouldn't. I feel like there's some sort of gap where people are not hearing that there's an issue. And maybe I get it if it doesn't touch you in some sort of way, if you haven't ever known a kid in foster care or known parents that had their kids taken away or grandparents that took their grandkids in, right? You probably don't think about it often. That's their problem. We need to be foster care, and the foster care crisis needs to be on the forefront of everybody's mind. Yeah. Get involved some way. It may not be with CASA. It may be being a foster parent. It may be, you know, providing kinship support. Do something. Yeah,
you know, so many people in foster care, and I say this a lot on here, but so many people in the foster care world think that people don't care. And my experience has been, it's not that they don't care, it's that they don't know.
They just don't know.
They don't know. Mm-mm. And once they're confronted with it, they're going to respond.
They do.
They do. I mean, people do care. They don't know what to do. They don't know how to do anything. You know, and when I go and speak at a church or host a toy drive this weekend at a Unique Toys, people see the need and they respond. Mm-hmm. Not everybody, but like you say, I mean, one person at every church and every kid would have a CASA or whatever, however it works out. But it is constantly getting the message out, getting the word out, mm-hmm. and once people see, I think they
I do
respond.
too. We have a really good response. I mean, people go, "Oh my gosh, I didn't know that was happening. I didn't know that kids from here, go mm-hmm. to Houston. Yeah. I didn't know that was a thing. How can I help?" Yeah. Back to your question about how you can help. So sharing our social media, sending people our way, letting us talk to whoever we can talk to. Obviously, it takes money to run an organization. Yep. You know this. So yep. Any kind of financial support is we're always looking for that. We have a couple of fundraisers during the year, attending those. We do a toy drive, bringing toys and gift cards for that every November. That helps us.
Yeah, because you guys do a Christmas thing for all of the kiddos.
We do. Yeah. So there is somewhere for everyone.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Do you have like a monthly donor setup thing?
We do. Yeah. Monthly donors, yearly donors. We do the Panhandle Gives every year, just like everyone else. So there are so many opportunities to help.
Yeah. I get it. Man.
I know.
It's so stinking important, and just getting people to know about it and be aware of, that's why we're here, is trying to get the community to see, and then building community around foster parents and things like that. So the big thing is that CASA I really do believe it's critical for the whole proceeding from start to finish, to have somebody that doesn't have, like I said, they don't have skin in the game. They don't have any ulterior motive, to get the kids here or there. They're the only ones really in the courtroom that their only job, the only thing they care about is what's best for the kiddo. And that's why it's so stinking important. I know it made a huge difference, like I said, in our case, and in so many. I've heard so many times where a CASA person, just like kind of like a dog on a bone, was like not letting this go, right? And saying this is what's best, not that, right? The laws are complicated.
They're complicated. They're complicated, and there's a lot of them. I think that's something that's special about us too, is there are going to be times when, St. Francis, there are certain rules that they have to follow and policy they have to follow. And sometimes we can kind of wiggle around those things. And so we can make different recommendations, maybe that St. Francis can't, or the attorney ad litem can't. And we try to bring everybody together too, right? So any information that we get, we're sharing that with everybody involved in the case. There's no secret who we're there for, right? Or what we're doing. And we don't always agree. Yeah. There's times when foster parents don't agree with us. Attorney ad litems, maybe we're not, but we're all in it for the same result, right? We may get there different ways or have a difference of opinion about how we get there, but we want permanency for these kids, whatever that may look like. We don't want them in foster care. That's it. That's all. There should be no child in foster care. That's our end goal, right? I mean, no child abuse, no foster care.
Boy, wouldn't
that be amazing?
Sadly, people are going to be people, and that's why it's so important for people to stand up for the people that can't stand up for themselves. And they can't go speak in court, say this is what I want. Somebody has to. Yeah. Man, thank you for coming.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Jarah. Guys, go to pleasebeacasa.org. You host like informational things.
We do.
At the office periodically too, right? So watch out for that. Do you have one coming up?
So we've actually moved. everything you need to know is on our Facebook, Instagram, and website, right? So we even have informational videos. It's 5 minutes. It's not going to take a lot of your time. Check it out, hear what it's about. But again, you just need to have a passion for kids. Please do not worry about the rest. Don't let the word court or CPS scare you. These are kids. These are normal, everyday kids who deserve somebody in their corner.
Yeah, that's so stinking true. Well, guys, thank you for coming, Jarah. Thank you guys for listening. Like I said, we'll put the link to their website in the show notes. Consider being a CASA. If you know a CASA, give them a hug. Because they're doing an important but a tough job. And thank you again to ER and Sansi for your sponsorship. All right, well, thank you guys and have a great week.